Well, we started day 2 off with a bang, going to Leonard's Bakery.
Yeah, right. It was one of those iconic places we had to go to.
Yeah, and I was super excited to try malsadas. Everybody said, you had to go get them, and they said Leonard's is the place to get them. So they had some COVID restrictions. We had to wait our turn, right? But really, their parking was good. We didn't have to wait in line very long, and we're able to get right in and get some nice hot malsadas. But there wasn't any places to sit, so we took them up the highway, and we pulled off to go enjoy them. This is where we found our first obsession. Do you want to talk about it?
Yeah, there were chickens all over the island. If you haven't been to Hawaii or heard about it, they have these chickens that are
Like wild.
all over the island. If you can see, there's some that have little chick babies with them, and just it was crazy just to see at every parking lot.
They're everywhere.
They're just everywhere. They were so fun and so cute.
Yeah, so we stopped and took a picture of those whenever we could find them. So we left our little chicken friend and we walked back through this little bamboo forest to find a spot to eat our malsadas. So this one is the cinnamon sugar one, right?
Yeah, that was my favorite. It was delicious. I always say it's just like a donut hole, but way better.
Way better. Like they're so good. It's kind of indescribable if you haven't had one.
It's not as dense as a donut. It's kind of spongy and light.
Mm-hmm.
But the cinnamon and sugar outside, and with it being deep fried, of course, it's like unto a donut. But it's the texture is just amazing.
Right. They're just they pull apart so easy, and we got the cinnamon and sugar, but we also wanted to try the filling one. So this is the chocolate filling one we're looking at right now. And I was expecting it to be kind of like the filled donuts we have here. It was not. This thing was stuffed full, like crammed full. We also had a custard one. What did you think about the filling?
I thought it overpowered the bread. There was more custard than bread, and so I decided that the plain cinnamon and sugar was my favorite.
Plain was the way to go.
Yep.
So after we enjoyed our delicious malsadas, it was back through the bamboo forest and back to the car, where we ran into our chicken friend again. But just up the highway and just pulling off the highway was this beautiful lookout. And so when you see the signs for the Poly Lookout, go.
It's breathtaking.
Really, like you just can't imagine the view that you're sitting there looking at. And there's historically there's a story behind it. A warning. It was windy.
So windy.
So
My
so
hair.
windy.
I could not look at that. It was crazy.
So windy, but gorgeous. Go. Just hold on to your hat and go look at that.
Yeah, don't wear a hat.
Don't wear a hat. We went down from there to our first botanical garden. Again, we'd seen some pictures, but just like those pictures, this video does not do this place justice.
Yeah, it felt like the Garden of Eden, honestly. It was so beautiful.
Really, and again, we pulled off the highway and we start driving through this neighborhood, and at the end of the road, you launch into this beautiful botanical garden. Everywhere we went, it just kept going back. I kept making that face like the whole time. Around every turn, there was just more beauty, and it just kept going back and back and back. I wasn't sure how big it was when we got there.
It was huge. I wouldn't call it a garden. I would call it
Like a park.
Yeah, it was big. It was a park for sure. I mean, there's a lake there.
Mm-hmm.
There's camping facilities there, which we were excited to hear about. Like, that's a future trip right there.
Which I'm mildly obsessed with potentially camping there. You can go and reserve camping spots. Apparently they go really quickly, but you can go for the weekend, and to camp out in paradise would be pretty awesome. You can see the clouds. It was a little bit of a cloudy morning, but it kind of added to the mystical, magical nature of the day. We just kept driving back here and kept seeing more and more things that we wanted to stop. We kept saying, well, we'll go look at that on the way out, or we'll stop by this on the way out, but let's see what's next. So we took it all the way as far as it would let us go, and found there was parking everywhere. So plenty of parking. The mountains were just absolutely gorgeous, and so was like all the vegetation. So this was actually, you popped out the sunroof with the GoPro.
I did. Yeah, that was fun.
It didn't rain on us this morning, so the weather held and was really good. There was a ton of people out hiking. This was one of the places that you could camp.
Yeah.
With several of the spots. This view here actually led to my second obsession, which was the view outside of bathrooms. There were bathrooms everywhere, and it was the most gorgeous view ever.
Hawaii planned out their bathrooms well. There was bathrooms everywhere, and it was I thought it was awesome just to turn. I have to go to the bathroom. We turn around, and there it is.
There it is, and so we walked out. Lola mentioned the lake. This is one of the places that we're like, well, let's stop on the way back, and it was less than a quarter of a mile from the parking lot. If you could see out of the left, we'll come back to it in a minute. There was a couple there getting married.
Yeah, it was such a sweet little moment to be able to share, I guess, with these strangers, and they were completely alone in this beautiful landscape getting married, and it was kind of surreal.
Yeah, and we found these trees, and we went climbing back in here. Here's the couple getting married. It was nice to just be able to applaud them and be like, yay. So we left the beautiful garden and we headed up north to our very first ocean exposure, right?
Yeah.
Beautiful bay. With COVID and everything, it was pretty much ours.
Yeah, there were hardly any people besides Waikiki. Waikiki, there was a lot of people, but everywhere else there was minimal. I mean, absolutely, we felt like we were by ourselves.
There was probably a half dozen people on this beach, and so we just walked down until we found a nice quiet place that was just our own, and enjoyed the blue skies and the blue ocean. There were some people like windsurfing out there, but it was a nice exposure, but this wasn't our favorite beach by far.
Oh no, yeah, it was nice, but yeah, not our favorite.
It was good to have it all to ourselves and get in the water a little bit, and just kind of expand our Hawaii experience. So we had a lot to do this day, but we definitely wanted to get down in the water as much as we could. So we were driving up the highway, and the cool part is there was things everywhere you went. So we drove up the highway and just took in one of the most beautiful drives. This was one of my favorite drives. We did it a couple more times just because I loved the drive. I loved everything that we got to see. And there was always little things to do. Like we found these swings just off the side of the road, just pulled over and had a good time.
Yeah, it was fun just to stop and play and have fun.
And then we continued on up the highway. We actually were looking for something to eat by this time. And we were going to Mike's Huli Huli Chicken, but it was closed. But there was a ton of places around here, a ton of food trucks, and this guy. His name's Ishikawa.
Yep.
So he stopped and asked us if we wanted to sample some of his meat, and we're glad we did.
Yeah, because we were wondering what to do. There was a handful of different trucks, and he asked us if we wanted to sample, and oh my goodness, he was my favorite.
So good.
My favorite pork of the whole trip. The smoke on it was just awesome, and it was very tender.
Yeah, and
so good.
He put this sauce on the pork and the chicken. It was incredible. And then, this was like the Hawaiian plates. This is what I love, the rice, the mac and cheese. He had a little, like a Hawaiian roll that was soaked. But right next to it was Giovanni's. And that was a place that was on my list that I wanted to try. Lola handed me a 20 like I was a third grader and told me to go get a plate. And so I did.
Yeah, because it's on the other side of the island, there's another truck of theirs, and the line's always really long, and so the line was short for this one,
So we dug in.
We shared a plate.
It was really hot. Lola does not like shrimp.
I do not like any. I don't like seafood at all. And this, I felt like, yeah, I could get used to this. This is yummy.
It was so good. That's the scampi I got. Just buttery. The stuff they put on the rice.
Yeah, it was like
unbelievable.
this garlic buttery breadcrumb-ish
Yeah.
thing. It was really yummy.
Unbelievable. So this meal was just kind of unexpected and amazing, which I would encourage you, just pull over. If the place looks good, check it out. It probably is. So go out and check out these food trucks. There was a Shave Ice place that we didn't stop at, and we later regretted that we didn't
Yeah.
have more Shave Ice.
We should have had more shave ice. That's one of our regrets of the trip.
But then we went up to Turtle Bay or Turtle Beach, and there's a resort there, but they'll let you drive back and park, and you can kind of walk back through the resort to get to the beach. And so we just walked along. This is kind of a rocky reef.
Yeah, it was fun to walk. It was this really rocky, I guess it's volcano rock,
Yeah.
something like that. I don't know. It was really cool just to walk on it, and I don't know, fun to just be adventurous and walk on it and have fun.
Yeah, so we walked out there a little bit. There was like places where it would come up through the rocks. It was cool. And then we went around the corner, and this is the bay. This is Turtle Bay.
Yeah,
Or
yeah.
Turtle Beach. Some rain did come in. We were laying on the beach and relaxing and enjoying the day, and then it rained, and everybody abandoned the beach. So once again, even at a resort, we had the beach all to ourselves. We went and hid under those huts up there until the rain let up, and then we came out in the water. Just gorgeous and really calm because the reef kind of knocked down some of the waves. So it was fun to spend some time again in the ocean.
Yeah, I think that's one of the things I didn't realize about Hawaii was how often it rains.
Yeah.
On and off. I guess that's why they call it the rainbow state. Is
Right.
There's just, anyway, it just would rain for a little bit and then clear up and then rain a little bit.
This is another place we just stopped at because of Maui and Moana there. Went inside and found a 5th-generation woodworker with a ton of beautiful things. So we stopped there and visited with them for a minute before going up to the temple.
Yeah, it was beautiful. Again, I've seen this picture of this temple my
Right.
whole life growing up, and it was cool just to be able to be there and drive up the road and to enjoy the beautiful grounds.
And this road is actually called, and I'm going to mess it up, but it's like Halila, which means home and sacred, or sacred home. And so the Sacred Home Boulevard leads up to the house of the Lord. So that was really cool and symbolic there. The clouds kind of parted for us, and we got some sunshine as we walked around and enjoyed the beautiful grounds. The temple itself is beautiful. The grounds are unbelievable. All the fountains and the pools and the trees. We even went around the back of the temple to find these trees.
Yeah, what's it called?
The
I
banyan
forgot.
trees. Yeah,
Sorry.
we'll see those a couple more times.
So cool how those branches grow back down into the ground.
Yeah, we'll see those a couple more times on our trip. But then we went to the Polynesian Cultural Center. It's just up the road. Again, this is one that everybody told us you have to go to, and it was kind of COVID restrictions shut down, but still there was a lot to do. We met our friends here again.
Hi, Turners.
Hello. And we took a raft ride that took us around so we could see the different islands represented in the Polynesian Cultural Center, everywhere from Hawaii to Tahiti, Fiji.
Samoa.
Samoa was our favorite. That's where this led us off at. We did get to learn how to throw spears. We are not good. Well, I'm not good. I don't speak
Yeah,
for
the
you.
Turners kicked our
Yeah.
behinds.
Yeah, they were just naturals at it. But we watched. These guys were incredible. To watch them go up the tree like they did was fun and kind of a little nerve-wracking, especially when they were talking about jumping. And then we went to the show where they put on. They talked about everything you could do with like a coconut husk and leaves, and that was really, really cool and entertaining. They were hilarious. Cap was really funny. These guys were great. So we left the show and we left Samoa, and we went to the luau.
Yeah, the food was amazing. We've heard mixed reviews on the food, so we were a little anxious to find out what it was like, but it was delicious.
Everything we tried was really good, and we got to sit like front center from the stage, and the performances were just beautiful. Like everything, the pageantry, the ceremony, the rituals that they show you and that they teach you about, so fun and so cool. Really, you felt like you got to better understand the people and love them. And then the food, always the food.
It was just cool that they had such a variety.
Yeah, you could try everything. They had a pork that they pulled right out of the ground. That's it. Then of course I asked for extra skin, but it was delicious. And then the breath of life ceremony, incredible.
Yeah, that was impressive. It talked about the circle of life and family, and it was moving.
Yeah, very moving, very moving. Totally. Go to the Polynesian Cultural Center. And that was our day 2.